my passion, I guess that's how God prepared me, is to be a shepherd, to take care of the people, to walk alongside them, and to really be, not only befriend them, but to disciple them to maturity. Mushawavana is a children's home. Mushawavana means the home of children. And it's a home where we look after the abandoned children, orphaned children. Some of them are orphaned by HIV and AIDS. Some of them because economically mothers just can't cope and they leave them. And so we have all sorts, but they are abandoned children. Having accepted the responsibility, we began to interact with the children. We would see their need. But there was 1 month when the children, first they didn't pitch in church. We inquired, we found that they didn't have soap to bath. And the next day, the other time when they didn't pitch in church, we were told that they did not have food. And another time we made a visit to the home, we found a lot of school-going kids not at school. And we said, why? And they told us they don't have school fees. We began as a leadership to put a shoebox in front of the church. And at that time, I think there were 25 or 27, but we could afford to send 10. So we selected the 10. We said, you're going to school because we paid your fees. That's how we began. We drove for 12 hours. And when we arrived in Harare, it was early in the morning. I think it was between 3 and 4. And we stopped by the gas station. At that gas station, a lot of things began to happen. In fact, I simply asked a question because many people were tired from a long drive. I said, as we refresh ourselves, do you want to stop a while? But I want you to see something. But I just wanted people to see what goes on in our country because of our economy and for what was happening then. A gang of young boys came, but one in particular, I think he was 8 years old. He held Chris Mallow's hand, and he holds the hand of someone, a stranger, and he says, you are the only people who can help us. It was like a loud voice from God saying that you are the people who can come to aid the plight of these children. And really that touched my heart. We drove, it takes us an hour from Harare to Marondera. We drove, I think for some time there was silence in the car because no one really wanted to communicate. But something really struck me strongly, as if to say that God had sent that young man to speak to our hearts more deeply than a project. To me, this is not a project, it's the way God wants us to serve. Sometimes we don't have conscience enough to see that there's more to be done in a world that God has put us. I know we cannot solve everybody's problem, but I think one by one, the few that we can reach and touch, those are the people we can actually affect. To find someone who comes alongside and say, you are doing this, I want to help you. So our relationship with Help One Now has become the best, if I could say the least. It is the best because now it has added value to the children. It has restored their dignity. It is giving them confidence. Even on their bodies, they look well, they are well fed. So we are very glad about this relationship with Help One Now. I think sponsorship is useful and helpful to the people who have initiatives. In my view, sponsorship only helps the person with a vision already. And the friends like you are helping us to fulfill that vision, and we are most grateful. My name is John Chinyowa. Thank you for helping One Now.